Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about another Homestead channel, and then we're probably going to have a little bit of a rant at the end. Another Homestead channel by the name of Rain Country Homestead. I've been a subscriber to them for a number of years, and I like gleaning some great information from them. But one bit of information that they put out a couple years ago, I really tried to adhere to, and I want to share it. I made a little bit of a change to what they, I think, did at one point when they shared the information originally, just because things are more expensive today. But they made a video a couple years back about how to save saving bottles. Now, I am a complete and total sucker for saving bottles. I mean, I save lots of bottles. I make my own wine here, so I save bottles for that. But I just like neat bottles. And I think we did that barter series a couple months ago talking about things to save that you could use for barter and trade during a collapse. Bottles are a big one. Bottles. I like bottles. And the neater bottle, the more apt I am to pick it up off the shelf and take it home with me. So I do have some really neat bottles in my collection. I picked out a few, just went back, and because I want to be able to reuse these or repurpose these at some point in the future for different reasons, and also be able to barter and trade with them as well, because I think there'll be something that will be really hard to get years down the road if we endure some sort of depression. And I believe we're heading towards a depression. That's what the rant's coming up at the end of the video. So anyway, Rain Country Homestead, thank you so much for putting out the information you did on bottles. And the piece of information that I really found helpful was using oil instead of Goo Gone to get the labels off of bottles. So you take a wine bottle, right? And it comes with a label. And you take the label off, and you're now able to save that bottle. I have found over the years, because I've saved lots of bottles, that some things come off easier than others. Sometimes you can just put it under hot water, and like the label just peels off really easily. It peels right off. And then sometimes it's like you need a jackhammer and to get the label off. It's like crazy. And I've even done I found if you use some different soap acids, that you can actually get etchings or laser printing off of bottles. So that's kind of helpful too. But the thing that they put out and talked about was using oil. And I think in her video, she used olive oil. Well, if you're like me, you've noticed olive oil is kind of expensive, like everything else in the grocery store. And I found an alternative that's way cheaper, and that's mineral oil. I think you can get these for same size for $1 at the dollar store. And so you can find mineral oils way cheaper than olive oils. I just have a hard time using olive oil. So the method you use is to, how I think she made the point in the video, if you get gum stuck in your hair, the way you get that out is use olive oil and baking soda. It's the same with labels. So if you have a bottle with a label you can't get off, you basically pour the oil on the bottle, rub it all in, and then take some baking soda and then sprinkle it all over, and then rub that in as well, and just let it sit for maybe a minute or two, and then get a scrubby pad, and it scrubs right off. No more Gooby Gone. That Goo Gone or whatever it is, it's expensive. You can just use regular oil, some cheap mineral oil, and some baking soda, and you don't need Goo Gone anymore. It just comes right off. And so I've done that on a lot of bottles. There's some bottles here. I like this really cool frosted bottle. This frosted bottle is neat. And so I've got a few of those, and I picked them up. And the labels were kind of hard. The labels were plastic, and they came off pretty easy, but it left a residue, and that residue, I needed to use the oil and baking soda, and it just scrubbed right off, no problem. This is another one. This is actually a colored bottle. I think it's kind of a cool bottle. And so I used the olive oil, and it scraped all the coloring off of it. It was all coloring, and it was flaked, and it just flaked right off, and the labels came right off. Neat bottle. And then this is one of my favorite bottles. This is an Italian wine, a Chianti, that you can pick up at some of your local, wine shops or whatever. And I like the bottle. It's pretty cool looking. But the label was kind of hard to get off. But use the oil, use the baking soda, and put it on there. Let it sit for a minute, and then it scrubs right off. No problem. This is another one. I could spend all day walking you through my bottle collection. I'm really proud of my bottle collection. But this is a kombucha bottle, and you can pick these up in gas stations or grocery stores. And I like kombucha. At some point here, I'm going to be growing our own kombucha, but I just got to have the time, and I don't have the time. I like a fizzy drink. I like soda. I just don't like all the garbage that's in soda. Well, kombucha is the alternative that's healthy for you. And so I like kombucha. I want to make my own, but it's on the list of things to do. Anyway, these bottles you can find. I like these cool bottles. It comes with like a cool little screw cap. I actually saved the caps and for this bottle, and it's got like little anchors, like Navy anchors, and I think it's just a cool bottle. And so I saved these, and I used the mineral oil and the baking soda to get the labels off. So if you might be like me and were like me and you were wasting money on Goo Gone to get labels off of things or sticky things off of things, no. Just use some regular cheap mineral oil and use some baking soda. Let it sit for a minute. Rub it in there real good. Let it sit for a minute and it'll come right off. Really helpful information. Again, big shout out to Rant Country Homestead on sharing that information. And I've been using it. I have a great big bottle collection. And the way I see the world going, I think that it might be a good idea to have some of these for barter and trade. Okay, now for the rant part. I'm watching the news. I'm watching a lot of YouTube channels. I've been even sharing with my patrons, and sorry, patrons, I got a video coming out for you at some point here soon. But patrons, I shared with the patrons Southern Prepper One videos on some of his things that he's been hearing through his audience about things that are going on. Some firsthand accounts, not news articles, not videos. No. He's hearing firsthand accounts from people who are out in the workforce, who are out in the world out there, and they're saying, hey, I work for such and such, and the supplies for this are low, they're non-existent, or we can't get new tires for our fleet vehicles, or we can't get new parts for this, And so they're giving real-world examples, things that you're not going to hear in the media. Also, Bear Independent over at his YouTube channel, he's been kind of doing the same thing. And this is just stuff that people are experiencing. And I don't know about Bear Independent, but I know Southern Prepper One over his YouTube channel, he's got so many emails coming into his channel that he can't even talk about them anymore. I mean, he just can't get to them all. And it's stuff you're not going to hear in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is not telling the real story. Guys, we are headed for a depression, in my opinion. Recession, There'll be a day when you look back and beg for a recession. This is a depression. This is a depression coming. We're almost there. It's not going to get better. They raised the inflation index again today, and it was all fake. It was fake. It's like so many of their indicators rise up by 10, 20, 30%, but it goes up 0.1%. Seriously? We all know it's fake. Listen, if we were using 1980s metrics, it would at least be over 20% now. And we all know it's even higher than that. Guys, when you go to the store and you see something that's this price, and then the next year, the year right now, it's double in price, that's 100% inflation. And I think we can all name at least 10 things or more that we buy on a regular basis right off the top of our heads that have all doubled in price from the previous year, not to mention gas. So don't tell me we're at 8.5% inflation. No. We are at 20% inflation, at least, at a minimum, just by 1980s metrics of the CPI index. Don't tell me this nonsense. I won't go there. Guys, this is a reality. Okay, now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. But if I was in anything paper, if I was in anything controlled by the government, if I was in any investments controlled or touched by the banks, I'd be getting the heck out of that. I got out of that a long time ago and then went back. If I was in any investments, paper or otherwise, not controlled by me, because if you don't hold it, you don't own it, you're an idiot. Get out. Get out. And there's really only one thing or two things that you can historically go to that's going to save your butt. And I'm not going to talk about it on this channel because that's what this video is for. Anyway, so I want to kind of do what Southern Prepper One and Bear Independent may be doing, just to kind of carry that candle too. And because I get stuff every once in a while, and I notice things myself. If you have something that you're seeing where you are in your industry, in your workplace, send it to stories@anamericanhomestead.com. Stories@anamericanhomestead.com. So we were up in Iowa this last week, and I noticed when I got up there that people are starting to grow wheat. I'd never seen wheat. It's always soybeans, corn and soybeans, corn and soybeans. And the fields last year, every field had corn or soybeans. This year, there's a lot of fields that haven't even been plowed into yet. They're just growing weeds, growing lots of weeds. And I'm like, what is the deal? Are they not going to plow this stuff? It's past time. You need to be planting. Some fields got the corn popping up. Some fields have soybeans popping up. But there's a lot of fields out there that are just weeds. That was not the case last year. And I'm wondering to myself, why is that? Is this because of the fertilizer crisis? Is it the high price of fertilizer? They just can't afford to do all their fields this year, and so they're going to, let some rest or whatever? But last year, all the fields were planted. This year, there's some that have nothing. And there's a few fields that have wheat in them. Wheat. I saw none of that last year. None of that. So I pay attention to the news, and I know what the news is reporting and alternative media is reporting, that there's a huge wheat shortage coming. That some of these farmers were like, they're paying attention too. And they're like, well, if there's going to be a wheat shortage, that means there's going to be a higher price to wheat. I think I'll grow wheat this year. Because I'm seeing a number of fields up there in Ohio that are growing now wheat that they didn't used to grow before. Not last year. Anyway, that's just around the Dayton area-ish. If you have a place, if you have something you want to talk about or want me to mention on my channel, go ahead and email it to stories@anamericanhomestead.com, stories@anamericanhomestead.com, or you can go to our website, anamericanhomestead.com, and go to our contact page and submit it that way. And I'll get it and I'll take a look at it. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. And then I had another text that was sent to me today, and it was Dave Ramsey telling people that the price of houses is not going to go down. The price of housing is going to continue. Guys, we already know that the price of housing is collapsing. Prices are dropping. Listen, Dave Ramsey might be a genius. I've said this before on my channel. Dave Ramsey might be a genius on how to get out of debt, but he is a complete and absolute and total moron when it comes to investments. Do not listen to Dave Ramsey at all. He's still telling people get into mutual funds. He said, I saw the video. We're just in a recession. It's not a big deal. It's a recession. It just means we're receding a little bit. No, Dave. There's going to be hellfire and brimstone coming. I don't know if I'm listening to Southern Purple One, and I'm listening to Bear Independence Channel, and I'm listening to these guys, and I'm listening to what they're saying, and I know I'm hearing the stories in alternative media. There is a tidal wave of hurt coming. Recession, nothing. This is a depression coming. This economy is going to collapse. If Dave Ramsey is right and I'm wrong, fine. I will come on this channel and I will admit, Dave Ramsey's right. Dave Ramsey said housing prices would continue to increase for the next 5 years. Now is the best time to buy a house. That's what he said. Now is the best time to buy a house. I will freely admit if I am wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Dave Ramsey's an idiot. If you can't see this tidal wave coming, you need to go back. That's my rant. Get out. Get out. Oh my gosh. Now's the best time to buy a house. Complete and total idiot. Okay. Anyway, listen, if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Also, our t-shirt merch. Common sense, not so common anymore. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. Buy a shirt. Wear it proudly. Tell people about AnAmericanHomestead.com and our YouTube channel. And if you have a story, send it to stories@anamericanhomestead.com or visit our contact page on our website, anamericanhomestead.com. All right. See you next time at the Homestead. Bye. Hey, guys. I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.